Good morning, this is Janice Corrales from Corrales Law Group.
And I'm Peter Corrales from Corrales Law Group, and today we're making this video to give information about the executive actions President Obama announced last week in regards to immigration changes. We're so excited here at Corrales Law Group, and on the day that President Obama made this speech, he actually released 10 memos through the Department of Homeland Security. There it is right there.
The one for this topic.
The one for this topic. So today, this topic is actually going to be about the parents of permanent residents and U.S. citizens, as he announced some general details, but through the memo we have some more details, so we wanted to give information to our YouTube audience. We're very excited. This is going to affect a lot of families, a lot of people that don't have any other way to adjust or have immigration relief. So this is going to help out a lot of people. It's going to provide some sense of being in the United States through a work permit. People will be coming out of the shadows, essentially. So through the memo, we've had some information about the criteria. I'm going to let Janice speak a little bit because that's what everyone wants to know. Who qualifies? So go ahead, Janice.
Let's start with how long this might take to implement. That was the first question I've been getting all day since this came out. So the first thing is Obama said that they have till 180 days, which is 6 months. We don't expect it to take a full 6 months because everyone's pretty excited about this and people are getting deported in court until it's in place, so hopefully they'll stop that until this comes out. But they give themselves 6 months because they have to hire more people and get systems in place, so we don't know how long it'll take them to come up with whatever form they need to or hire people. So it could be up to 6 months, hopefully it'll be before then. But the process is not out yet. There is no form given for it yet or details or a submission date. So if anyone takes your money and tells you that you can apply for this right now, they're scamming you. And we always make these announcements because
that's so important.
Yeah, it's really devastating the amount of people that come in here that have been victims of fraud. So if anyone asks you for money right now, there's no process in place yet, so don't do it. And you can subscribe to our channel. We will be giving updates as to what's going on and when you could submit things and things of that sort, so you could stay informed that way as well. So eligibility requirements are the criteria for applying for this. So it's for parents of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents. So if you are a parent of a citizen or a lawful permanent resident, that's criteria number 1. Number 2 is you have had to have been living in the United States since January 1 of 2010. So you're going to need to prove that you've been present that whole time. The details as to whether it's going to be just like deferred action, we're not too sure, but they did call this an expansion of deferred action and they want it to be very similar to it. So we're guessing it's going to be very similar, and from what we get from the memo, it is extremely similar. So proving that you've been here since January of 2010, and also that you were here on the day that this announcement was made, which was November 20, 2014. So those are like the basic requirements. Also, you had to have been out of status. So if you were here on a visa and it was still current, you weren't out of status, not good. The other thing is the crimes. Everyone's been asking me about the crimes. So they haven't given specific details, but they did say it's going to be based on the new priorities for removals that was issued that same day. And those priorities for removals are almost exactly the same as deferred action, the DACA for children. So we're expecting to be very similar. That means no felonies, no 3 misdemeanors, and no significant misdemeanors. If you have any crimes or criminal history, you should definitely see an attorney. We'll talk a little bit more about expungements later. But basically, those are the basic criminal categories that could disqualify you. Other thing is the fee. So they said it's going to be the fee of the work permit and the biometrics, which is your fingerprints to see if you've done anything bad, just like deferred action. Right now that's $465, but it could change, but it hasn't changed as of now. So yeah, just $465. Start saving up your money for this if you have a lot of people in your family that need to qualify. So besides that, I think those are all the eligibility requirements we need to cover right now.
So Janice touched on the crimes, and this is going to be an area that's going to be developing. We'll be giving out more information on this, but you should definitely see an attorney. If you have a criminal history, do not submit anything to immigration. Please don't. We see so many cases of this. Now, Janice, you mentioned it was 180 days to implementation. Hopefully it'll be shorter than that, but I mean, people are so excited. They keep calling our office. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what people can start doing right now to make it easier for themselves when USCIS implements this, because we all know for deferred action, when it first was implemented, the people that applied first, they got their responses back in a month, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to apply.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to want to apply really fast. Maybe you could talk about what they can do right now.
Okay. So one of the things, this is actually back and forth, is whether you're going to have to pay back taxes if you haven't paid it. Because Obama mentioned in the speech, but it's actually not in the memo, so we don't know. There's a chance that if you haven't paid taxes, you might have to pay your taxes for the last 5 years. However, most people that walk through this door have paid taxes, so that shouldn't affect too many people. But if so, you might want to consider starting in that direction, just in case. But like I said, that's not for sure. The other thing I just mentioned, expungements. So for immigration, usually an expungement doesn't really matter, it doesn't mean much. But for DACA, they did allow you to apply with a crime that would disqualify you if it had been expunged or if it happened when you were a juvenile. So if you do have a crime that disqualifies you, you might want to start thinking about getting it expunged just in case. They do allow people with expungements to apply. Again, you need to see a lawyer if you're getting something expunged to qualify for this, because we want to make sure you're not being at risk that if you get denied, you get deported. We don't want that to happen. So you should see a lawyer if that's the case. The other thing is physical presence. So you have to prove you've been here. We have other videos on deferred action to talk about physical presence and how to prove physical presence here in the United States. It can sometimes take people a while, but everyone's been able to prove presence. There's no one here who hasn't been able to do it. You can use anything. You start gathering your leases, your Netflix, your gym memberships, any mail you've received at your home. There's so many things you can use. We've even used people's Facebook posts when they say, I swear they have nothing because, you know, they haven't been working and, you know, the bills are in the spouses. We've been on people's Facebook posts. Pictures, as long as it's a U.S. landmark, works. If you're just in a bedroom by yourself, that doesn't count. But if you're like at Universal Studios and it has the date on it, we've used stuff like that too. But you shouldn't have much of a problem finding presents. Just start gathering it now, so it's ready to go when it's ready to, the process is ready to be implemented and we're ready to send things.
Great. So this is the basics on what we know now for this sort of situation. We're going to be making more videos about all the executive orders that President Obama announced. Like I said, there was 10, but these are the two most important ones. We just made one on the expansion of deferred action. There's also some changes that are being made to provisional waivers. You really want to consult with an attorney on some of these cases because Janice has mentioned before that the cutting edge of these programs is making them long-term. A lot of people are worried that these are temporary solutions, and they are, but with an experienced immigration attorney, you can do some things like advance parole and then adjust status. Each case is very different, so we don't want to go too much into those, but please subscribe to our channel. We'll be making future videos on this type of situation. If you have any questions, you can email us or call our offices. We're so excited. This is going to benefit a lot of people. So thank you, and we'll see you in the future.